Welcome back. In our last lesson, we introduced the idea of the employee performance continuum, the idea that we typically have three types of employees to manage: ascenders, consistent performers, and poor performers. In this video, we're going to talk about strategies to use when coaching ascending employees. In other words, people who want to get promoted and develop in their careers. We'll learn how to identify these folks, determine how to leverage their abilities, channeling their direction and focus, and talk about how to get them to grow by using stretch assignments. Are you ready? Great. Then let's begin. So here's the thing. There are these people, these ascenders, are some of my most favorite people to coach. People who are eager and excited and want to get promoted. They want to make more money. This is all a really good thing. Sometimes we have to figure out how to channel it, right? Sometimes that eagerness can get in their way a little bit, but we have to figure out how to give them direction and focus. You know, a lot of times people do come kind of out of the gate and they may think they can just get promoted right after they've been in the job for 90 days. And that's usually not true, right? That's not necessarily the case, but let's not hold it against them that they're ambitious, right? Let's tap into it and use it. So the way we identify these folks is, first of all, they tell us they want to get promoted. They tell us they want to make more money. They tell us these things. I want to change the world. I want to make a difference. I want to have an opportunity to have more influence. They say things like that, and that's how you can kind of clue in that this is their thinking and their mindset, right? So when we think about coaching algebra and we think about how helping them can improve their performance, right? How do we help them? Let's also remember that mindset is such a powerful element here, right? They already have great thoughts that are driving their performance. So when we already have someone who's got that kind of thinking, now we have to think about how to use that as leverage, right? Now we can help both the organization and the individual continue to connect what they're doing to how this will help them in the future. So an employee like this will be really, really hungry for development. They will be hungry for your attention. They will, in many cases, be what you might call a high maintenance employee. You might identify with that, right? That's okay. So first of all, as a manager, check yourself, right? Like, let's make sure that your thinking isn't interfering with your ability to coach them. If they frustrate you, if they annoy you, if you think they're entitled, I have to tell you, I hear that a lot, right? With this kind of employee, like they think they deserve blah, blah, blah. Then what's going to happen is you're going to shut down, you're going to shut them out. And then, you know, what's amazing about that is they become more demanding. So just remember that somebody who is ambitious and eager and frankly, a good employee to have, may be more difficult for you to manage just because you're not experienced with that, but it's all about managing expectations and the process to help them develop. So they're going to ask for help. The first thing we want to do is to make sure we have a consistent coaching practice in place, that way we have a design, a setup to be really focused on talking about their development, right? So let's ask ourselves first, am I meeting with this person consistently? And if so, am I talking to them about two specific things? Am I talking to them about their production and their position and their goals to grow, okay? And so this is the part that I think is extremely important to make sure is clear with these folks. It's awesome to be ambitious and to want to get ahead and grow. That's all amazing. But here's what we have to remember. In order to achieve those things, you've got to be a rock star where you are. You have to be performing in your current position. So coaching this type of person, we have to pay attention to their current production and hold them accountable for that and have coaching conversations about that, and also talk to them about what they want to be creating in the future. So a great example of that is someone who is on the front line in an individual contributor role. Maybe what you do is you ask them to mentor someone new. And here's the thing, in that mentorship process, you might want to make sure you create structure for them, create a process, right? Don't just ask them to do it and then see how it goes, because that's not fair. It's not fair to anybody. Let's set them up for success by identifying what it is you're going to be looking for. How well do they communicate with this mentee? How consistent are they? How well does the mentee perform because of the mentorship? How does your employee respond? Do they get frustrated with the mentee? Do they not spend enough time with their mentee? These are all great insights, right? So if you give them a stretch assignment, please make sure that you set up some benchmarks for them so they can evaluate how well they're doing. Because ultimately, you want to be able to help them to see where they've succeeded and where they can continue to grow. So the ambitious employee, the one who's really eager to grow, we want to recognize it. We want to tap into it. We want to identify if it bugs us, right? This is so important. I know it might seem like such a silly thing if it's not the case for you, but I hear it so often. People say things like, he shouldn't be asking for a promotion. He shouldn't be so presumptive that he's going to get promoted. She shouldn't be asking for a raise. And you know what? People are going to do what they do, but I just think that's an indicator of somebody who's eager. And so I'm going to tap into that. I'm going to maximize that eagerness. So if you want a raise and you want to get promoted, cool. Let's work together and figure out how to make that work. And the two ways we're going to make that work is you're going to be a rock star in your current job, and we're going to give you some stretch assignments to help you develop. And as a manager, remember, if I give an employee a stretch assignment, I need to make sure I create the benchmarks and steps for them to follow because it might be new for them. So we can't just expect them to know what to do. That's the skill transfer piece, right? That's how I develop them and I develop skill. I've got to set it up. I've got to show them how to do this stretch assignment before I just launch them into it. All too often, we just launch people into these bigger assignments and then we get frustrated when they fail. Well, of course they fail. They've never done it before. Okay, so working with these folks can be really, really fun, really engaging, and often very, very rewarding. And frankly, one of the marks of a very effective manager and coach is that you do promote people, that you do launch people out of your organization into other opportunities. And while that's a lot of work for you because you have people leave because they get promoted and then you have to train someone new, it's also such an indication of your effectiveness and a great brand development for you as a manager. I would say one of the things that I was very proud of when I managed people was that I had a lot of people get promoted, and I developed a brand of being someone that if you worked for me, you would do well. And they would grow, and then that's a great brand to have as people are developing and growing and promoting. And the best reason that's a great brand is it also helps you attract great talent. Right? So yeah, I might turn people and get them promoted, but I also get the pick of the lot, right? If people are interested, the top talent are going to be attracted to work for you if you're recognized as someone that helps people get what they want and move forward. So if they know that if they're going to work for you, they're going to grow and develop, then that's good stuff. So then actually you start attracting really amazing employees. It really works to your advantage to harness these talented employees and build on their goal of growing and ascending. Help build plans, help them drive their performance now and in the future. In summary, there's a couple of keys we want to remember as it relates to this video. The first thing is that ascending employees want to grow and be promoted. And they're easy to identify. They tell you they want a promotion. They tell you they want a raise, to change the world, to have more influence. We want to make sure that we partner with this employee and we help them recognize that they need to focus on their current position and their output and productivity in the role, but also give them stretch assignments to continue to develop their skill. We also want to remember that having people who grow and get promoted out of our team is the mark of an effective manager and coach. This is good news. And if we get recognized as managers as someone who can actually continue to develop people to the point of promotion, we'll actually start to attract better talent for our team. So it really works out to our advantage to invest in these employees that are eager to ascend and do our best to continue to help them get where they want to go.